Please draw this with me. So this is O, right? A, B, C, D. Right? So I think you all have drawn sorry, not drawn, but you have written down the what we call subtitle that I gave last week. So I think no need to give it again. Right? Under that, you have to draw this. Now, you should write what are the pairs that you can find here. Right? So, what are the adjacent pairs? Right? Adjacent pairs of angles that you can find here. Right? Please try to write down two pairs. There are more than two, but first of all, try to write down two pairs. You know the definition of a pair of adjacent angles, right? The pair of adjacent angles which have a common arm and a common vertex. So those are the two properties, and those adjacent angles should lay right should lie either side of the common arm. Either side, that means both sides of the common arm, right? So you may write any of the two pairs. Right? I am not going to discuss all the, unnecessary theories, right? This lesson can be taught using only the applications. Only the questions, right? So after discussing that, this thing, I will go for that. Let's do some more questions. Then you can understand each and everything.
Excuse me, sir.
Sir,
Sir, can we send our answers?
yeah. Send me. I forgot to tell that. Asiru, ABC. What is that? I want you to write angles, right? So there should be at least three letters. No. Now there are 10 people. I need another one. So pair means mention me and send me the answers. Right? Okay. Shena has sent me. Great. Right. Yes. Tariru Sangha is correct also. Right? Okay. Now, no need to type angle at the end. Right? So, look at the board. Now, what are the two properties? Right? First property is should have common vertex. So O is the common vertex for all of these angles. one, two, three, four angles. There are four angles, right? And all of these four angles have common vertex, right? Common vertex. The common vertex is O, right? Common vertex is O, right? Now, let's forget about OD, right? So I am going to forget this OD arm, right? Now let's consider AOC and AOB angles. Or let's consider OA, OB, and OC straight line, right? Now here we can find a common vertex, right? And for these two angles, OB is the common arm, and either side of this common arm, which is OB, right? We can find two angles, AOB and BOC. So there you can find a pair of adjacent angles. So I will write AOB and BOC. AOB angle and BOC angle, right? So second pair. I'm going to forget OA, right? I'm going to forget OA. Now I have BOD and OC. So here, when you consider this angle and this angle, topmost angle and the bottom angle, right? Here O is the common vertex and OC is the common arm, right? So then we can say BOC and COD, right? COD are pair of adjacent angles, right? BOC means, so let's say length of cylindrical, right? And COD. Game ගහන කෙනෙක් ඉන්නවා නම් කවුරුද? If someone who plays games, right? Tell me what is COD?
What's that?
If
So COD?
yeah, if one of you are playing games, right? You should be familiar with this word, right? Very easy.
Yes.
So what is this? What is this?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Yeah, all of you. Just reading. Right. So okay, forget that. Right. So now I forgot this one, and I am not now going to forget OB. So let's forget OB. Right. This one. Now I have COD and DOA. DOA. Right. So O is the common vertex and OD is the common arm. So between this common arm, we have two angles in both of the sides, right? So as the third pair, I can write COD. You have to write this. If you want, you can write this. Right? It doesn't matter, right? So DOA. Shall we write fourth pair? Yes. I'm going to forget.
Sir, again.
Yes, sir, lagging for
Yes, sir. For me also a little bit laggy.
Why is that? Others, same thing, right?
no, sir.
No, sir.
Lagging.
එකපාරට ලැග් වෙලා
එකපාරට එන්නේ. දැන් දෙපාරක් තුන් පාරක් විතර වුණා.
I do not know why. Give me 30 seconds. Okay, right. Let's see. Duranjana is here, right? Okay. So both pair. So this is it. DOAN, AOB. DOAN, AOB. So these are the 4 pairs of adjacent angles we can find here, right? Because previously we had something like this also, right? There are 4 angles and 4 pairs of adjacent angles. Right? So can we take, let's say, this one and this one, right? So I am going to say, right, this AOBN, right, this AOBN, this angle DOC or COD, are they adjacent angles? AOB angle and COD angle, are they adjacent angles? This angle and this angle?
They are not.
Yes, they are not. Right? These 2 angles are not adjacent angles. Why is that? They have a common vertex, right? They have a common vertex, but they don't have a common noun, right? They don't have a common noun. Here you can find a common vertex, right? For this AOB and COD, but they do not have a common arm. Right? Therefore, this COD and AOB angles are not adjacent angles, right? Keep that in your mind. Right? And BOC angle and AOD angle, are they adjacent angles? These 2 angles are adjacent angles or not? Right? Same scenario. Same.
Which 2 angles?
Right? Yes, same thing. So previously we told we have a common vertex, right? Here common vertex, you can find a common vertex, but no common noun, right? But no common noun. Right? So BOC and AOD are not adjacent angles, right? Okay. Now keep that in your mind, right? So now let's go for some questions. Right. Now let's talk about adjacent angles on a straight line. Adjacent angles on a straight line. Right. Now at once, if you see this, straight line. You can write this, you can write this. Can you hear me now?
Answer.
Can you hear me? No lagging?
Yes, sir. Sir, 7 is हमारे लाइट लगी मेरे
Right or wrong?
Sometimes.
So for us, no lagging.
Didn't lagging. So
No, sir, not lagging.
okay. So in this case, when you see the word straight line, right? Straight line. Okay. So this is the straight line. And regarding to straight line, right? There is an angle. Regarding to this straight line scenario, right? You know something about the angle. I mean, in last week, before the last week, right? We discussed that at the beginning of the lesson, right? So what it called? When you see a straight line, right? There is a corresponding angle to this straight line, right? That is straight angle, right? Straight angle. I am just remembering, right? I am just reminding the things. So what is the magnitude? What is the magnitude of this straight angle?
180 degrees.
Yes.
180 degree.
Yes, 180 degrees. So keep that in your mind now. Now we are going to take consider the adjacent angles on a straight line. Straight line, straight angle, straight line, straight angle, 180. Right? Keep that in your mind. Right. Now, first of all, first example. Now look at the board. Don't do anything. Example number 1. Right. Example number 1. I am going to draw something like this. This is a straight line, right? This is the common vertex, and this is the common arm, and these are my two straight angles, right? Two straight angles. Sorry, adjacent angles. Sorry, A, B, C. Right? Now I will say this one is 60 degrees. This one is 120 degrees, right? Okay, likewise, I will do the second one as well. Right. Now here what I want to say is, right, if you see a straight line like this, AOC is a straight line, XOW is a straight line, right? What you should remember is straight angle. That means the magnitude is 180 degrees, right? Keep that in your mind. Now I am going to add, right? In the last week also we did this thing. I am going to add AOB and BOC together. So let's see what we can obtain. AOB angle plus BOC angle. AOB angle plus BOC angle. AOB angle 60 degrees plus 120 degrees, right? 120 degrees. 60 plus 120, that means 180. 180. So it is straight, right? So AOC is a straight line, and what we discussed earlier is, right, this is called a straight angle, right? So the magnitude is 180. Now here, if you add AOB and BOC together, you can get 180-degree angle, right? That means straight angle, right? That means whatever the number of straight angles, whatever the number of adjacent angles like this, right? Where you can find those angles on a straight line, right? Here you have three adjacent angles. That means XOY and YOZ are adjacent angles together, and YOZ and ZOW are also adjacent angles, right? So the sum of these three angles should equal to 180 degrees, right? So that is the thing that I wanted to explain, because these three adjacent angles are on a straight line. Straight line. That means it should form it should create a 180 degree straight angle. It should create 180 degree straight angle, right? So by looking at this, right, we can write XOY angle plus YOZ angle plus ZOW equal to 180 degrees, right? Now, example, something like, let's say, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 angles together on this straight line, right? On this straight line. So if you get the summation, that means if you add all of these angles together, if you get the addition, right? ඔයාලා මේ ඔක්කොම angles ටික එකතු කරමු. What should be the value? This is the straight line. The
180.
180 degree.
yes, 180 degrees. So if you add all of these angles, the magnitude of all of these angles should equal to 180 degrees, because all of these angles are on a straight line, right? Okay. Now you should remember that, right? Please draw this. Right, when you finish, let me know. The next are done. Right. Right, now let's find some angles. Right. Example number one. Right. Now look at the board. I do not know the value of this angle, AOB angle, so I have put X here. Right. I do not know the magnitude of this AOB angle, right? Right. But I know the value of this 130 degrees. BOC angle is 130 degrees. It is an obtuse angle, right? So now they are asking from us find as X. Find X. So you need to find the value of, the magnitude of X. Right? Now you know these two are adjacent angles, right? And those two adjacent angles are on a straight line. AOC is straight line. Now, if you hear the word, or if you remind the word AOC is a straight line, all the angles on this straight line, if you get the addition of all the angles of this on this straight line, should be equal to 180 degrees, right? So now here they are asking from you find the value of X, but they have given you the magnitude of the other adjacent angle 130. So I can directly write X plus 130 equals 180. X plus 130 equals 180. Right? Now I think you know how to make this X as the subject. I think you know how to make this X as the subject, right? So I will tell you, right? Don't write that. 130, sorry, 108. So if you get the addition of X plus 130, it should be equal to 180 because AOC is a straight line, right? Now how to find the value of this X? How to find the value of this X? It is very important, right? Now here I have plus, that means positive 130, positive 130, right? If you want to make this X, if you want to make this X as the subject, in the X උක්ත කරන්න, right? එහෙම නැත්නම් තනි කරන්න, right? මේ වම් අත පැත්තේ මේ X කියන එක්කෙනාව තනි කරන්න, what you should do? If you want to make this X as the subject in your left hand side, what you should do to this 130? This 130 is a burden. ඒක මහා කරදරකාරී. ඌ අයින් කරන්න ඕනේ, right? Yes, Metsam has sent me the answer, right? Good. Right? Here now you should remove this 130. So to do that, I am going to do the opposite thing of this 130. What is the opposite of this positive 130? Positive 130, negative 130. I will do the same thing to my right hand side also. In my left hand side, I have subtracted 130, and at the same time, I will do the same thing to my right hand side also. Negative 130. Negative 130. Right? Okay. Now 130 minus 130. Right? That means I will give you a orange and I will take it from you. So now how many oranges do you have? No oranges, right? That means 0. You can cancel this out, cancel this out. So x, now in your left hand side, you can find only x. Okay? In your left hand side, you can find only x equals 180 minus 130. 180 minus 130. It is 50 degrees. So the value of x is 50, right? So this is how we are going to find the x. Right? And now I will do another one, right? This one, I will say this is simple a, and this one is, let's say, 60 degrees, and this one is 80 degrees. Right? So now look at the board, right? They are asking from you to find the value of a. Right? So you have to find the magnitude of a. Right? Same thing. XOW is a straight line, so you can add all of these angles together. You can add all of these angles together and equate it. एक समान करना 180 degrees वरट. Right? So I am going to write down 60 plus a plus 80. 60 degrees plus a plus 80. I have three angles. I have added them together. It should equal to 180 degrees. Right? Same thing. Why? XOW is a straight angle. You can find three different angles on this straight line. Yeah, right? Adjacent angles. So all of these angles are equal to 180 degrees. Now you need to find the value of a. Before make this a as the subject, you have similar terms. What are the similar terms? 60 and 80. 60 and 80. That means 60 plus 80. 60 plus 80 means 140. Right? That means I will write down this a here. 60 plus 80. 60 plus 80 means 140. Right? 140. So if you cannot understand that, right, I will put some arrows. So these are similar terms, 60 and 80, and I have added them together because here 60 plus 80, 60 plus 80, 140, right? And in my right hand side, 180. Now this is similar. This step and this step is similar. Now what is our burden? 140. Now it is here in positive. What is the opposite thing of positive? So if you want to remove this 140 plus 140 from your left hand side, what you should do? You should subtract it from both sides. So here a plus 140 degrees. I am going to subtract it. 140 degrees negative 140. And I will do it to my both sides. So from both sides, I have subtract 140. Right? This one, this part. So positive 140, negative 140. Cancel out, cancel. Right? Cancel out, cancel. Right? Now in your left hand side, you can find A. Now you have make this A as the subject. Make this A as the subject. Right? 180 minus 140. So what is the remainder? Only 40 degrees. Right? So the magnitude of angle A is 40 degrees. Now this is how we are going to find. Right? So please write this down.
Sir,
Please write this down and let's.
sir, sir.
Yes.
Sir, අපිට මෙහෙම කරන්න පුළුවන්ද සර් 60 80 ඇඩ් කරලා 140 140 වලට ඇඩ් කරලා සර් 190 වලට තව මේ කීයක් තියනවද කියලා බලලා දාන්න පුළුවන්ද?
Yes, yes. You can do that, but this is the mathematical way, right? මේ ඒකම තමයි කරන්නේ. මේ 180 වලට කීයක් තියෙනවද කියලා හොයන්නේ කොහොමද? You have to subtract that value. So you are using your mind to subtract, but here we have shown it mathematically. Okay? This is the correct way. So please follow that.
Okay, sir.
So let's do some examples. Please write this. Okay, Shina has done. Okay. Now to share my screen. Right.
So do we have to do that?
Wait. Okay. Now let's do. Please try to get the answer for second one. Send me the answers. Okay, let's see who finishes.
Okay, sir.
Right? No need to draw this. No need to draw the picture. Right? I just need the way. So you have to follow the way. I mean, in the board, right? So this is the correct way. So you have to follow that. No need to draw this. Right? Just follow the way. And send me the answers. Just type the magnitude and send me. No need to type anything. Let's see who finishes first. Okay, Nasiru has sent me the answer. I think it is the. Yes, Dinan, do you have any questions? No, Dinan, send me the answer. So, what is the what is the answer that you get as the answer? Right? Okay, Dunia sent me. Okay. I think both of the answers are correct. Okay, wait. Sunny has sent me the answers. This is correct. So what about the others? Bhavya, Aseni, Shad, Tulanjana, others. Ganeshi, Shinaya, Saniru. Okay, Bhavya, Ganesh. Okay, got it. Yes, the next one is correct. Change, okay. Right. Nice. So this one is very easy. So I will discuss. So it is something like this. Uh, yes. This one is A. This is 68. So at once you can write. If you see something like this, this is a straight line, right? A plus 68 degrees equal to 108 degrees. Now you need to make this A as the subject. That means you need to find A. You need to find the value of A. So you need to remove this 68, positive 68. Here you have plus 68. What you can do in order to remove this plus 68, positive 68, what is the opposite thing of this positive? It is negative. Negative 68. Positive 68, negative 68. Very easy. 108 degrees, negative 68. So do same thing for both sides. Negative 68, negative 68. Okay? Cancel out, cancel. Now in this side, the only remaining term is A. A equals 180 minus 68. It will give you 112. So this is the answer. Right. Now I will give you 2. No. The third. Do this third one. And send me the answer for L. L or I. I do not know. L, whatever the. Now this is easy. Send me the answer for L. Okay, wait, sir, has sent me the answer. Yes, Dunia has sent me the answer. Okay. I think all of these answers are correct. Okay, Nasiru has sent me the answer. Nice. Dylan, please check your answer. Right? When you are getting the subtraction, I think some mistakes have been done. I don't know. That one is very easy. Okay, the next thing. The answer is correct, right? So I will discuss that one. Right? That one is very easy. Very similar to the previous one, right? So same thing in upside down. They are saying this is 95 degrees and find the value of this. I will take this LO, TO, whatever thing are, right? So this is a straight line, and these two are adjacent angles on a straight line, and you can write L plus 95 equals 180 degrees, right? This is the Kanadaragara, right? You want to remove it, you need to remove it from this left hand side. So it is positive 95, right? Positive corona, right? Then this corona should be removed. So it should be negative corona, right? 95 minus 95 from both sides. Negative corona from both sides. This is corona, right? It is positive now. We need to negative it, right? Negative, and both from both sides we have to do the same thing, right? Cancel out, cancel out. Only remaining term is L equals. If you get the subtraction 180 minus 95, it would give you 85 degrees as the answer, right? Okay. Now let's do fourth one. Find the value of x. You have to pay your attention on the details, right? You know what is this, right? What is the magnitude of r? Let's say this one is O. Iduri, okay. Most of you are sending me the answers. Dhanesh, please take your answer, right? Because most of you are sending me the answers, but I want to check this one. Can you send me the photos of your books? I mean, where you get the answer? I want to see it. How do you get those answers? Right now, just send me. So you have. So you have to send me the photos. I want to see the method. So in that case, you have three angles, right? In that case, you have three angles like this, right here. So you have to use your previous knowledge as well. Not three, right? It's fourth one in your textbook. It is something like this. This is called as a PQ, right? And this angle has been given. It is something like this. You have to find the value of this angle, right? So let's say it is x, right? So this angle is, right? They have mentioned this angle is a right angle, right? This angle is a right angle, right? So what is the magnitude of a right angle? You know, 90 degrees, right?
90 degrees.
Yes. Now this is similar to this one. This is similar to this one. You need to find the value of x, right? You know the magnitude of this angle and this angle. Right? So by looking at these three angles, you can write down 40 plus 90 plus x equals 180 degrees, right? Now these two are similar, right? These two are similar. 40 plus 90. Right? 40 plus 90. Oh, I will tell you a way, right? Very easy way, right? Now what do you need to find? you need to find the value of x now. This is the thing that you need to find, right? So if you want to find x, right, write it in front. I mean, write it first. I will write x here, right? Now I am going to write the rest. That means ඊට පස්සේ මම ඉතුරු ටික ලියනවා. මට හොයන්න අවශ්‍ය x, right? That means I want to find x. I have written down it in the first place, right? පළවෙනියට මම එක ලියලා තියෙනවා. Then now I am going to write the rest of the magnitudes, right? Now I have got 40, then 90 degrees. This one should be equal to 180 degrees, right? Always remember this. Then it will be easier to simplify, right? 40 plus 90, right? Before doing that, I will write x here, right? And plus 40 plus 90. It will give you 130 equals 180. Now what is the corona? Positive corona, right? So you should negative corona from both sides. Okay. Then this is x plus 130. This is positive. Now I am going to make it negative from both sides, right? Cancel out, cancel out. Now here only remaining term is x. 180 minus 130. It will give you 50. So this is the answer, right? Now I will again share my screen again. And okay, let's do this fifth one, right? A. You have to find the value of a equals. You have to find the value of a. Actually, I need to see the way that you have solved the question.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, you need a picture? So you need a picture?
Yeah. Okay, Vitsarani has sent me the previous photo. Yeah, Shani has also sent me. Nice. And, Dylan has also sent me the answer. Yes. ක්ලාස් එකෙන් පස්සේ හැමෝම මට නෝට් ටික එවන්න ෆොටෝ ගහලා මට බලන්න ඕනේ. Yes, Duranya. It's correct. කට්ටිය මතක් කරලා ෆොටෝ ටික ගහලා එවන්න මට නෝට් එක, right? Angles පාඩමේ නෝට් එක එවන්න.
sir අර මුල දුන්න note එක ඒ ඔක්කොමද මුලින් ඉඳලා
yes angle පාඩම පටන් ගත්තේ එතන ඉඳලා යවන්න.
හරි sir
Yes. Okay, Mark. Right. So, if you are doing this, I mean, Lasiru, I am not correct. I mean, I am not clear with your answer. Right? There is a doubt. You know the method, but I mean, you know the way how to get the answer for this one, but you do not know how to do that mathematically. So it will be a great disadvantage in the exam, right? So most of you know how to get the answer, but you do not know how to present it mathematically. ඒ කියන්නේ කට්ටියගේ knowledge එක තියෙනවා මේක මෙහෙම තමයි කරන්න ඕනේ කියලා. That means like this corona, right? Positive corona, so same thing, right? So you know the way, but you do not know how to present it mathematically, right? Right. Okay, let's see. So, I will use this sign. So it is something like this, no? Right? So it is something like this. In grade 7, right? So the people who was with me in grade 7, right? I will cover this lesson. I mean, how to do this part, because I started the classes in I mean, for the previous guys, the people who with me who was with me in last year, right? So I was started the class in month of May 2021, right? So I have lost more than 5 months. So I began the classes from the first lesson, right? As I remembered, I began the I began the classes from the first lesson. So last few lessons I missed because of the time frame, right? So I have to do some rest of the lessons, right? So there you can find this lesson, right? How to do these things. So I will cover that, however, right? So ඒ කියන්නේ මුලින් හිටිය මම හිතන්නේ අපේ නුවර සෙට් එක විතරයි දුනි භාග්‍ය අශේනි අමර ඔය හතර විතරයි හිටියේ ඊට පස්සේ සනිරු ආවා සනිරුගෙන් පස්සේ තමයි ධනංජය අශාත් එතකොට දුලංජන ලසිරු ඔය සෙට් එක සෙට් වුණා ඒගොල්ලෝ මම හිතන්නේ සෙට් උනේ ජූලි හරි අගෝස්තු හරි right. So those people have missed this lesson, right? I do not know about the school, I mean not the angles lesson, but how to do these things, right? So I will be covering that part, right? No issue, because I need an extra day for that, right? Okay, however I will do this, right? So here you can find adjacent angles like previous, a plus a plus a. So you can write a plus a equals 180 degrees. Similar terms. No one.
dividing.
Yes. No one can say I haven't this. I haven't done this lesson. I mean, not the new guys, right? But the old guys. No one can say I haven't done this lesson. I mean, how to add similar terms. Can you remember the oranges? 3 oranges Like orange plus orange plus orange, 3 oranges. Right? That means these are like terms. A plus A plus A plus A, 2A, 2A plus A, 3A, right? Equals 180 degrees, right? So now you want to find the value of A, right? Now you want to find the value of A, but oh, this is here. You cannot find anything, something like this, right? Positive, positive Paradharagari, right? You cannot find yes, sir. Algebraic. This is an algebraic expression, right? In the formulas lesson, you can find this one, right? So here you cannot find something like positive 130 or let's say positive 40. There is nothing, right? But here you have a burden. Karadakarek inno. How's this 3, right? Now this 3 should be removed, right? Now how do you read this? 3A, okay, it is correct, right? 3A, but when you are reading this, 3 times A, 3 times A, this is equal to 3 multiplied by A. Right. Now what is the operation between 3 and A? What is the operation between 3 and A? So this is the operation. What is the sign? This, I mean, not the sign now, operation. Between 3 and A. It is multiplication. Multiplication. 3 multiplied by A. 3 multiplied by A. 3 multiplied by A, right? So what is the opposite thing of multiplication? What is the opposite thing? Can anyone tell me?
Division.
Yes.
Division.
Yeah. Multiplication. If you see the multiplication, the opposite thing is division. Right? If you see the division, what is the opposite thing? Multiplication.
Multiplication.
If you see positive, what is the opposite thing?
Negative.
If you see negative, what is the opposite thing? Positive, right? So this is the way that you are going to do, right? Now here, what you can see is 3A, but actually between this, right? Between this 3 and A, you can find 3 times A. Times means 3 multiplied by A. Multiplication of, right? So if you want to remove this 3, you have to divide both sides by 3. Right? You have to divide both sides by 3. Then 3 times 1, 3 times 1. Right? So in this side, now you have A only. Right? Now what is the answer? If you divide 180 by 3, so it should come to here. So you have to divide 180 by 3. 3 times 6, 18, 0, 0. So that means A equals,
Sir, sir, can we use multiplication table too?
no. Why are you going to use multiplication here? You have to use, you have to do the division, right? අන්න ඒක තමයි ඔයාලට මේ ෆොටෝ ටික එවන්න කිව්වේ. මට තේරුණා මොකක් හරි මෙතන පොඩි ප්‍රශ්නයක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ කියලා. right? So you have to do this way. You cannot use multiplication. If you use multiplication, you have to multiply 180 by 3. So it is a greater thing, right? I do not know the answer. Right? So this is the correct way. If you got wrong answers, or I mean, if you know the method, it is okay. But if you got wrong answers, please write this down. This is the way that you need to follow. Right? I think it would be better if we can do some more examples, right? Okay, let's do the third one. No need to draw. In the figure, if AB is a straight line segment, okay, AB is a straight line segment, right? Straight, huh? So you need to remember, straight 108 segment. Find the magnitude of AOD. AOD, okay. AOD means 2x. AOD means 2x. This is a good question, right? This is a good question. First of all, you need to find the value of x. Right? First of all, you need to find the value of x. Right? Then you can find what is 2x. 2 times x. Then you can find what is 2 times x. Right? That means 2x. 2x means AOD. AOD angle. Because they are asking the value of AOD angle, right? They are asking the value of AOD angle. So AOD angle equal to 2x, 2 times x. In order to find this, first of all, you need to find the value of x. So first do this, then find the value of AOD. AOD angle equals 2x. Then you have to substitute the value 2 times value of x. Okay, examiner sent me the answer. Right? I do not know whether this is the correct answer. Right? Let's check. Right? The way you obtaining the answer. I mean, it is the very important thing. Right? ඔයාලා answer එක ගන්න විදිය තමයි වැදගත්ම. Right? The way you are obtaining the answer is the most important thing, right? Okay, Bhagya's send me. Okay, nice. Okay. So Daneshi, please do what you know first. So you know something to do here. Okay. So first do what you know. Right? හොඳම දේ තමයි ඔයාලා දන්න දේ ඉස්සෙල්ලා කරන්න ඕනේ මෙතන. Right? දැන් මේ අපි උඩින් ගණන් පහක් හැදුවානේ. අන්න ඒ ගණන් පහේ තියෙනවා. හරිද? ඒ ගණන් පහෙන් එකම එක විදියක් මේ මෙතන දාන්න පුළුවන්. Right? You can apply one method that we discussed earlier. That means you can apply fourth one and fifth one, right? It is similar to this. It is similar to this, right? Please do that. At least do that. Okay, Induni has sent me the answer, right? Okay, good. First of all, try to do what you know. That is the important thing. Try to do what you know. ගානක් ගත්තාම කල්පනා කරන්න යන්න එපාලු. Right? Don't think too much. That is not necessary. Right? Okay, Senaya Okay, correct. Okay, now I will discuss. Right? Uh, right. The most important thing, right, is you need to do what you know, right? Up to now, you know something. Up to now, you know something. At least you need to this one. I mean, at least you need to do this one, right? So, I will draw this. ඔයාලා ගානක් ගත්තාම මම හිතනවා right අනේ මේක අමාරුයි මොකද කරන්නේ මම දැන් මොකෝ කරන්නේ right මම දන්නේ නැහැ මේක මේ වගේ එකක් දැකලත් නැහැ අනේ මොකද කරන්න කියලා හිතනවා right don't do that right don't think too much have you heard something like this overthink kills you right overthinking kills you වැඩි හිතන්න එපා ඒක වෙන වදයක් right ඒක තමයි මේක මේ ගාන ගද්දි වැඩි හිතන්න එපා right do what you know right apply what you know right okay now I am going to do what I know right I am going to do what I know this is 2x okay this is this is familiar with me okay I will leave it okay this is x right now this is a right angle the magnitude is 90 degrees so that is the first thing that I know that this is the first thing that I know which is 90 degrees this symbol is okay 90 degrees it is a right angle right so you know that right so that is what I know 90 degrees first step second thing this is a straight line they have given it in the figure AB is a straight line that means this okay. So what I know part 2 AB is a straight line AB is a straight line what I said to you when you hear the word straight line you need to remember all
180 degrees.
yes 180 degrees that means all the angles on this AB straight line if you get the addition it should be equal to 180 degrees so how many angles are there 1 2 3 okay there are 3 angles right 3 angles okay that is the what I know part 2 I think you know it Danesh right I think you know it right first one is 90 second one is the summation is 180 on a straight line right? I think you know that මම හිතනවා මේ දෙකම ධනේෂ් දන්නවා ඇති because we have discussed those things so far මේ වෙනකම් මේ ටික තමයි සාකච්ඡා කරේ right and in the previous thing I mean not in the sixth question right not in the previous question the question before that I told you right please write down what you have to find first please write down what you have to find first ඒ කියන්නේ ඔයාට හොයන්න තියෙන එක මුලින් ලියා ගන්න කියලා මම කිව්වා නේද ඔයාට හොයන්න තියෙන x නේ you have to find x right you have to find x I told you to write it first okay so this is the first angle what is the first angle AOD right yes this is C AOD is the first angle, 2x, right? So you have to find x. So there is another x here, 2x plus x, 2x plus x. So two angles are over. Now I am going to kill the third angle. This is my third angle, 90 degrees. That means I told you to write down what you have to find first. You have to find x, right? So find x, right? So first thing you have to find x. So I have written down x terms first. Right? Now this is equal to 180 degrees. 2x plus x plus 90. 2x plus x plus 90 equal to 180 degrees. Right. Similar terms, 2x plus x. That means I will give you two oranges. This is you. I will give you two oranges. And later, after a few more minutes, I will give you another orange. Now, in total, how many oranges do you have? 3 oranges, right? 2 oranges plus 1 orange. 3 oranges. That means 3x, right? Plus 90 equals 180 degrees. Now this is very similar to the previous things that we discussed, right? But here now there are two corona people. There are two corona people. Now we have two Karadharakaras, right? First one is 90 degrees, second one is 3. Because in order to, we need to make this x as the subject. We have to find x. Again, අපි මේ x කියන එකනව මම මත පැත්ත තනි කරගන්න ඕනේ. Right? Now, what I am going to do is, first of all, you need to remove this positive 90. First of all, you need to remove this, right? So I am going to remove. Here now you have positive 90. What is the opposite thing? Positive 90. Positive 90. Opposite thing is negative 90, right? Positive num negative. Positive num negative. I have to subtract negative thing from both sides. Negative 90, negative 90. So here positive 90, negative 90. Cancel out, cancel out. Now in my left hand side, the only term I have is 3x. Right? I have is 3x. 180 minus 90. It will give you 90 degrees. Right? It will give you 90 degrees. Now, this is something like previously we discussed. 3a equals 180. Similar, right? Similar. Now, how do you read this? 3 times x. 3 times x. Times means multiplication. What is the opposite thing? You have to divide both sides by 3. If you want to remove this 3, you have to divide both sides by 3. Right? Then 3 times 1, 3 times 1. So now in your left hand side, you can find only term x, right? In your left hand side, you can find only term x. I do not have enough space here, so I will write it somewhere around here. In your left hand side, now you have x. X equals 90 divided by 30. Sorry, 3. 90 divided by 3. 3 times 3, 9. 0, 0, 30. X equals 30 degrees, right? Now you have found that value of x is 30, but read the question. right? In the question, they are asking from you, what is find A or D? Right? In the question, they are asking from you, what is the value of A or D? What is the value of A or D? Right? A or D. Let's go for A or D. So, by looking at the figure, A or D equals 2x. 2x, 2 times x. Right? How do you read this? 2x, it is okay, but mathematically, how do you read it? 2 times x. Degunaya. It's okay, degunaya. 2 times x. X means 30. So you have to substitute 2 times, instead of this x, I am going to substitute 30. Right? This 2 times 30. Instead of x, I have substitute 30. 2 times 30. 2 times 30 means it is 60. That means A or D angle equals 60 degrees. Right? A or D angle equals 60 degrees. Because A or D angle, here they have been given us A or D is 2 times x, 2x. So this is the final answer. So there is another similar question, right? And I will give it to you as well. It is very similar to that one. Yes, Anil has sent me the answer. Yes, it is correct, right? So now I am going to give you very similar one, right? Same thing, right? Please try to do this fourth one. You can do this fourth one by looking at the third one, right? Please write down what is in the board, right? So you have to use the same way in order to find the magnitude of POS. That means 3x. POS. If you are going to find POS angle, you have to find 3 times x. Right? We are going to find SOQ angle. SOQ angle. This is very good question. SOQ angle means this very big angle. This one. So you have to add this angle and this angle together. Right? First of all, you need to find x. What is the value of x? You need to find this one first. Now, right? Do what you know. Go step by step. Do what you know. Right? Go step by step. In the previous question, I have done it step by step. So you know how to do it now.
So can you hear
Sorry, I can't hear you. Who is speaking?
Sir, can you hear me, sir?
Rushan, what I had. Yeah, I can hear you, but laggy. The fourth question is somewhat, somewhat hard, but if you do what you know, right? If you do what you know, it will be very easy. You have to go step by step. First of all, you need to find the value of x, right? Like in the first step, this one. So after that, finding the value of x, right? You can do whatever you want, right? First of all, try to find the value of x. You know how to do that, huh? I have explained it in the board in the previous case. And this is what I have done. Right, I will discuss that. It is somewhat, I think it is a good question, right? In the picture, you have something like this. This is an upside down case. POQ. If you go step by step, this one is very easy. 3x. And this is 2x. This is 80. This is S. This is R. Right? Now, in the first question, they are asking from you what is POS. POS, it is 3 times x. You cannot do that at once. You cannot find 3x at once. First of all, you need to find what you don't know. X. Right? You have to find first x. What is the value of x? If you find the value of x, right? Giving answers for the question 1 and question 2 is nothing. ඔයාලා x කියන කෙනාගේ value එක හොයාගත්තොත් 1 සහ 2 කියන question වලට උත්තර දෙන එක nothing. So, like I previously said, do what you know, right? Okay. Now here there are 3 angles, right? So I am going to write it down like this. Here I have 3x, here I have 2x. I am going to write these two at first because I have to find the value of x. 3x plus 2x. Then I am going to add 80. 3x plus 2x plus 80. 3 angles on a straight line. Straight line 180 degrees. Right? Now 3 oranges, 2 oranges plus 3 oranges plus 2 oranges plus 5x. Similar terms now. 3 plus 2, 5x plus 80 degrees. 180. Right? 5x. Now here you have positive 80. Positive 80. I have to remove it. So, what is the opposite? Negative 80. From both sides, you have to subtract. Negative 80. positive 80, negative 80. Cancel out, cancel out. Now here I have 5x. So previous steps I am following, right? 5x equals 180 minus 80, 100. Right? Now you have to divide. Here you have another Kardara Kare. 5 can Kardara Kare. So you have to remove this. Right? So here 5 times x times means multiplication. So what is the opposite thing? Division. You have to divide both sides by 5. 5 times 1, 5 times 1. So here you have x now. I will write it here in your left hand side. The remaining term is x. X equals 100 divided by 5. It should be 20 degrees. If you divide 100 by 5, you can obtain 20. Alright, now the value of x is okay. Right? Now they are asking, now I am going to give the answer for the first one. POS. POS angle. POS angle is 3x. 3 times x. So I can substitute 3 times x means 20. It is 60 degrees. Right? POS angle equals 60 degrees. Sorry. Then in the second question, find the magnitude of SOQ. SOQ angle equals SOQ angle equals 80 plus 2x. That means SOQ. This bigger angle. This one now. Starting from here to here. So if you find only this one, it is wrong. Right? Not 2x. 2x means ROQ. 2x angle means ROQ. It is not SOQ. In the second question, they are asking SOQ. SOQ. This whole one. Here you have 80 plus 2x. 80 plus 2x. SOQ means 80 plus 2x. So addition of these both angles. Both of these angles, right? 80 plus 2x. SOQ. 80 plus 2x. 80 plus 2x equals, you can write down 80 here plus, what is the meaning of this? 2x. 2 times x. 2 times x.
2 times
Yes. 2 multiplied by x. X means 20 degrees. So now here you have 80 plus 2 times 20 means 40. Right? Then 120 degrees. So yes, so this is the way. So if you didn't get the correct answer, please write down this method. Right? I will upload this video, right? Then you can go through this later if you do not understand anything. Right? I think it is good. Right. Now Do you need more time to write this? Please let me know. If someone is writing, please raise your hand. Okay, I think okay. I think all of you have finished writing, right? Shina is right. I think now you all have finished writing. Right. Now let's discuss something new. The sum of the angles around the point on the plane, right? Now you know the uh, angles on a straight line, right? On a straight line. So I have given you that if you are going to find the summation on a straight line, when you hear the word straight line or when you see the word straight line or when you see a straight line like this, right? So you need to remember 180 degrees, right? Remember 180 degrees. Right? Now we are going to discuss about the angles around a point. So this is my point. I will say it O. Right? So here, this is my point O. Now there are different angles, right? Around this point, right? There are different angles around this point. Now we are going to talk about these angles, right? Around a point. So please write down the subtitle with me. The sum of the angles around a point. Right? So my point is O. Right? Now I have AB, CD. So I will say my AC is a straight line, right? AC line is a straight line. Now look at the board. AC line is a straight line. Right? Now in this figure, I will write point is O, and AC is a straight line. AC is a straight line. Straight line, right? Now keep that in your mind. Straight line. AC is a straight line. Straight line. If you consider the upper part, AOB angle plus BOC angle, adjacent angles on AC is straight line, right? AOB plus BOC equals 180 degrees. Now, if you consider the bottom part, this is AC straight line. AC straight line. AOD plus DOC. AOD plus DOC. 180 degrees again. AOD and DOC angles are adjacent angles, right? And in previous week we discussed, here you have a straight line, and if you add AOD and DOC angles, the summation should be 180 degrees. If you get an angle 180 degrees, what is the word that you can remember on the other hand? When you hear the word, what is the angle that you need to remember? Complement?
90 degrees.
Yes, 90 degrees. When you hear the words supplementary?
180 degrees.
And 190.
Yeah,
190 degree.
180 degrees. So here, if you add AOD and DOC, you are obtaining 180 degrees. So AOD and DOC are supplementary angles, right? These are very easy things, right? We discussed in last week. AOB plus BOC angles are also on this straight line. If you get the addition of AOB plus BOC, it will give you again 180 degrees. That means again supplementary angles, right? Now keep that in your mind. Please draw this. Point is O, right? This is the common point. AC is a straight line. This is the subtitle. And draw this one. Please draw this AC straight line in a different color. Red or black or whatever the thing. Then I will discuss the rest.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Right. I think you have finished writing. Right. Now by looking at this, figure, right? Now don't write that. Now look at the board. Now looking at this figure, I can say AOB plus BOC, right? AOB plus AOB angle plus BOC angle equals, what is the magnitude? AC is a straight angle, therefore AOB plus BOC equals 180 degrees, right? Supplementary angles, right? This is the reason. Supplementary and supplementary angles, let's say on a straight line. Straight line, right? AOB plus BOC. The upper part is okay, right? Upper two angles okay. Now bottom angles. A or D, same thing. AOD angle plus DOC angle, right? AOD angle plus DOC angle. So what is this? Again, same thing. Angles on a straight line, and they are adjacent angles, and they are supplementary angles on a straight line. Supplementary straight. 180. AOD plus DOC, 180 degrees. Same reason. Supplementary angles on a straight line. Right? Please write this too as well. Please write this too. I have at the upper angle, two upper angles. Then I have at the bottom two angles, right? So I think you have finished, right? Okay. Now in the figure, right? The figure was something like this now. So it was something like this, right? Now what I am going to do is, right? I am going to add this point is O. Common point is O, right? I am going to add these four angles together, right? I will begin from AOB, right? Now look at the board. AOB. Now tell me the next angle. AOB, then BOC. And now I am going to add COD. COD plus DOA. Right? So DOA, right? Oh, I will say this angle, right? AOD, right? Whatever the right? In both cases, those angles are same. AODO, right? Or DOA, right? Both are same. DOC, or we can say COD, right? So let's take the answer for this. So AOB plus BOC, AOB plus BOC, AOB plus BOC, 180 degrees, right? AOB plus BOC, AOB plus BOC, 180 degrees. Okay, I have substituted 180 degrees for these two, right? Now, plus, I will put plus here. Now, COD plus AOD, that means bottom angles, bottom two angles. COD plus AOD. So, what are our bottom angles? AOD plus DOC, right? AOD plus DOC. DOC means in other way around COD. COD, DOC. AOD, AOD. AOD plus DOC. It is equal 180. So these two are our bottom angle. So it is also 180 degrees. Right? මේ මෙතන අකුරු මාරු වෙලා තිනවා. ඒක හිතන්න එපා. COD කිව්වත් එකයි DOC කිව්වත් එකයි. Right? Here you have AOD, COD. AOD, COD means this DOC in other way around. So if you get the addition of these two angles, you can obtain 180 degrees. 180 degrees. So these four angles you can find, right, around this point. What is the point? O. Point is O. Around this point you can find four angles together. Now I have get the addition of that four angles. Now I have get the addition of that four angles. So it will give me 180 plus 180. 180 plus 180. So if you add 180 plus 180 together, it will give you 360 degrees. Right? Now it will give you 360 degrees. That means finally you can understand the sum of angles around a point is 360. So that means, right? So let's say this is my point and you have something like this. So here you have 5 angles. So if you get the addition of these 5 angles, or if you get the sum of these angles, right, that total should be equal to 360 degrees. Now let's say this is your point and you have this number of angles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 angles. The summation of these 10 angles should equal 360 degrees, right? So whatever the number of angles around the point, right? Whatever the number of angles around the point equals 360 degrees, right? Now keep that in your mind, right? Please write this down as well. No need to draw this because previously you have that one. So basically you need to know, right, the sum of angles around the point. Right? ඒ කියන්නේ point එකක් වටා තියෙන angles වල මුළු එකතුව should equal to 360 degrees. 360 degrees. Okay, Sena has done. Okay, Lakshmi done. Okay, I think others have also finished, right? Let me do one question from this, then I will end the class, right? Right? You can draw this with me, right? This is my common point, right? And I will draw something like this. This is x. (100 degrees, 120 degrees. This is example number 1. Right? So you have to
So we have to do that.
So you have to find x. Please draw this. So this is a right angle. Huh? This is x. You have to find x, right? So these are the data: 110 degrees, 120 degrees, right? Now, please draw this. I will discuss how to do this one, right? This is very easy, right? So you know all the things. This is a point, right? This is a point, right here, and around this point you have 1, 2, 3, 4 angles. 4 angles. Around this point you have 4 angles. So in previously we have discussed, right? If you get the sum of the angles around the point, right, it should equal to 360 degrees. Keep that in your mind. Now we are going to apply it here, right? Now remember, you have to find x. X. You are going to find x. So please write what you are going to find first. You are going to find x. So I will write it here, x. X plus this one. X plus this is right angle. Magnitude is 90 degrees. Plus 120. So I am going to get the summation of these 4 angles plus 100 degrees. This should be equal to what? Around the point, the summation of
360
yes,
degrees.
360 degrees, right? So total should be 360, right? Now you are familiar with this equation formula, right? So this is the equation. X plus 90 plus 120 plus 100 equals 360. So here you have to find x. Before that, you have to add 90 plus 120 plus 100 together, right? So it will give you
310.
310, right? If you add 90 plus 120 plus 100, it will give you 310. this one equals 360. Now, this is a burden main Karadalakare positive corona, right? So do that negative corona. 310 negative 310 equals 360 minus 310. So you have to do the same thing for both sides, right? So positive 310, negative 310, cancel out, right? Now only remaining term is x equals 310 minus 360 minus 350
50 degrees.
degrees. Yes. So the answer is x equals 50 degrees. Leave or dinner time. Right, okay. So however, there are little bit of things. So as homeworks, do exercise 3.3, right? I will send this, right? So I will write it in the board as well. Homeworks, and I have sent the tute also, right? And collect it, and I will give you some questions from the tute as well. Exercise 3.3. Complete this. Right? All of you, please write this. I will send the photos to the WhatsApp group as well. Right? Okay. Now